Hi, so welcome to our new session of awareness hours where I'm taking questions of people and trying to respond them on various subjects of philosophy, religion, literature. And if you feel that you have any question, you are more than welcome to send your questions. I will try at my best. Today again we are taking 3-4 questions on this New Year Eve, and I will try to answer them. So first thing, I will like to resume for from our last session. The last question we discussed in last session was about death and how we should be conscious about death, that we are going to die one day and all. uh, one Although I replied that question, but one thing I can add further is that it is not really a question of how we can be conscious. The main question is how we are unconscious. What makes us unconscious about death? We need to find out that. Okay, because death is the most present thing. Death is something which is happening every moment, as I said in the last session. Even if you go for a garden and if you have an eye, you can see flowers dying on the branches of the tree. You can see leaves are falling from the branches of the tree. That is death only. Okay, death and life and death is happening every moment. So why, how we are unconscious about it, that is the bigger question. And we are unconscious because the whole thing created in front of us is so beautiful. This whole universe, this whole illusion of the universe is such a beautiful thing that makes us go unconscious. Every illusion is created in front of us to get rid of this thought of death. Okay. We can talk from the basic thing, Osho says in one of his video that uh, just see that we create we make all type of effort to get away from the concept of death. We have our graveyards outside the city, outside the garden, so that outside the village, so that we should not be aware of the death. Okay, so this itself shows that how much we are afraid of death, how much we want to avoid the death. That graveyards are located or established outside the city or city or village. So that is these things make us unconscious of death, because otherwise death is happening every moment. And we just need to open our eyes, be conscious about it, and we can realize it. Now let's look at the question from today's session again. How to break or avoid our own pride, which I understand person is asking about ego, our own ego. Mm, how to break or avoid our own pride. We tend to ignore things when we have a false image about ourselves. How to see the reality when we are under such illusion. Basic thing is that who is going to break the ego. uh, you ask that how to break our own pride. Basic thing is that who is going to break the ego. It is the same ego which is breaking the ego, right? It is the same ego which will say then that now I am on the trip of breaking the ego. This is a new ego trip, that you are trying to break your own ego. So ego cannot be broken. Okay, ego can be exhausted, as we discussed. We can exhaust our ego, or we can realize our ego. Okay, you can realize that nothing is happening because of you in this universe. Your presence is not even necessary. If I am not here today, if I pass away today, this whole world will exist as is. There will be no difference. Okay, this is our ego which makes us feel that we are very important, and this world will collapse if we are not there. So realizing this factor itself, that our stay itself is like a great great gift given by the god. We don't deserve this existence. It is god's blessing that we have got another day to live. Otherwise, okay, fine. So many people die, and our universe is still functioning. So how universe will be disturbed by we leaving this place? So this is what we need to realize, that anyways we are not doing anything. Anyways, this egoistic consciousness, that this is not doing anything. Ego is itself is an illusion. This egoistical identity we create is an illusion. Everything is happening on its own. Okay, so this realization, when you have this realization, then that everything is happening on its own, you do it or not do it doesn't matter. Okay, understand. We can see from this perspective also. Universe wanted to have these sessions, so it may utilized me in having these sessions. Universe wanted to have this universe or god wanted to have this discussion on spiritual terms, so it utilized one person to send the question. It is utilizing me to answer that person. So it is the game going on. Okay, so we need to realize it, that know it, that nothing is happening because of us. Everything is happening on its own. And if you like, you can try. Okay, I tried this recently, so I know it. So I give you one example. So as I'm in this astrology profession and astrological consultancy, two of my friends wanted to talk to me. One about their own chart, other person about their father's chart. Fine, great. So deliberately deliberately I gave them, both of them, exact same time. Okay, exact same time. I knew while giving them that I am giving the exact time to them. I told both of them to call me at 5 p.m. that day, that particular day. So date, time, exact same. And I just thought, let's see what happens. Around 4:30, one person messages me, I will call at 6 p.m. So understand what I am saying, that if I am doing things, if everything is happening because of me, then they both should have called at 5 p.m. But one person automatically shifted to another place. I didn't plan that. The person one person automatically shifted to another time. I didn't plan that. So someone else is running the show. Realizing this much will be enough to break your ego. Okay, to realize this egoistical illusions we have, that we are doing anything, we are not doing anything anyways, and things will still work out. Okay, if you are not taking action. And this is the best example. Things are always working on their own. So everything is happening in this universe, no one is doing anything. We tend to ignore things when we have a false image about ourselves. How to see the reality when we are under such illusion? Mind will not let you see the reality because it will hurt ego. Okay, so first of all, realizing your mind. Realizing the kind of illusions your mind is giving is important. Okay. uh, so watching your mind is always the most important thing. Watching yourself, your mind, your egoistical urges, uh, self inquiry, being conscious in every moment is always the best thing to, if you say the breaking of ego, or I would say in realizing your ego. Okay. So these things are always important, but always understand no one is doing anything in this universe is just utilizing all of us. You can say, oh, how you would have got these questions if I had not sent you, and I can say, oh, how would you have got these answers if I had not made this video. Both things would have happened through someone else. Okay. So don't worry about it. Universe can find out thousand ways to do some work. Our egoistical existence is not that important, is not important at all. It is a blessing, okay, that we are still surviving. There is no need for us to be alive today. Universe can function as is in our absence also. So this is what we need to realize, and this is going to help you in breaking your ego or realizing your ego. Being compulsions towards food, sex, comfort, sleep gives us temporary satisfaction, but our body or mind keeps asking for it again and again, which creates an addiction for us, which generate a sense of guilt within us. How to break the cycle of compulsiveness? First, before breaking the cycle of compulsiveness, uh, get rid of this guilt. Realize that this guilt is given by your societies. It is the result of your conditioning. Otherwise, what is the problem in having food, sex, comfort, sleep? What is the problem in it? Why can't you have food, sex, comfort, and sleep? Why to feel guilt about it? What is the problem in having these things? Okay. So first of all, get rid of this curse. It is get rid of this guilt. It is absolutely natural and normal to desire such things. There is nothing wrong in it. Okay. So get rid of this and this thinking you have that there is something wrong and you should feel guilt about it. Okay. So first thing is that you need to get rid of this type of thinking that there is some guilt about desiring food, sex, comfort, and sleep. Okay. Second thing, the compulsiveness. Okay. Compulsiveness is again coming from our unconscious behavior. Okay. Mm, like if someone is like addicted to like food which is like tamasic in nature. Let's say we all need food. First of all, that's why I'm surprised that why we should feel guilt of having food or having sex also. Sex is quite natural. We all are here in this universe because of sex only. You have sent this message, and I am replying it because of sex only. Because of sex only we have taken birth. So we can, and there is no need to feel guilt about it. Okay. Other things, comfort and sleep, we need it. But let's say if someone is addicted towards it. Okay. So what is happening that he is unconscious while consuming these things. Okay. He is addicted to liquor. Let's say he is addicted to alcohol, he is addicted to non-veg food and all. That is his unconscious behavior. Only thing he needs to do, is becoming conscious, and everything will be fine. He needs to realize that okay, he had this drink today, and he should be conscious while drinking. I promise you, he will not be able to drink. Okay, any wrong action we can do in unconscious manner. So any addiction can also be there in unconscious ways only. It can never be in conscious state of mind. You can never do anything wrong in conscious state of mind. Okay, like this food or this addiction towards liquor, alcohol, addiction towards sex, addiction towards being laziness and all these things can happen because of unconscious state of mind. So all we need to do is coming towards consciousness. If a person is fully alert, 100% alert while taking a sip of alcohol, he cannot take it. This is my guarantee. Okay, if a person desires to leave alcohol right now, he can do so if he is just becomes aware of it. If someone is like too foodie and he wants to control that habit, what he needs to do with every bite of food, he needs to be conscious of how much he is eating. He will not be able to eat. He will not be able to eat more than his need of the body. So this is what is happening, that basically the person is unconscious and these behaviors are coming in. Okay, only thing he needs to do is consciously work consciously. Okay, be alert in everything he is doing. Be alert. Another thing is about this guilt. Okay, understand how it works. Okay, so I do something which I feel somehow in my head that it is wrong, so I feel guilt about it. Okay, now if guilt is 100% and guilt is totally true, real guilt, then how I am doing it again? Okay, understand what I am saying. The person has committed a mistake as per his criteria by consuming alcohol or consuming non-veg food or consuming too much food that he has done, or being a sex addict and all. He is doing something wrong. He commits a wrong thing. He feels the guilt. If the My question is that if the guilt is really true, really genuine, how he is committing that act again? The main thing is that guilt is not true. Guilt is the way by which mind is playing a trick upon you. When you do something which you think as a negative act, I don't judge, but you think that it is a negative act, then you feel bad about yourself, that I'm not a good person. Then the mind starts giving this guilt. Okay, so once guilt comes into mind, you start feeling better about yourself. No, I'm not that bad. Okay, I have guilt. See, I'm feeling guilty about it. I will not do it again. Okay, so what happened that your mind has given you this trip that you are not a bad person actually. You are feeling guilty about it, and okay, it takes time to improve things. You will also improve, don't worry. Now you are actually preparing for the next mistake. It is like a pendulum. Okay, pendulum of a wall clock. Whenever you are committing a mistake, you are committing a mistake, you are feeling the guilt, you are actually preparing for the next mistake. When you are going towards next mistake, you are actually preparing for the next guilt. So this thing goes on. Mistake is also done by mind, guilt is also given by the mind. There is nothing from your side. Mind is playing the trick here first by making you compulsive towards those things, making you impulsive towards those things. Then it is also giving the guilt. As I said before many a times, human mind is a cunning phenomenon. It is very cunning. Okay, So what mind is doing is that it is giving the guilt, giving the first the urge to commit an act, then it is giving the guilt, and because of that you again prepare for the next mistake. Okay, next urge. So the chain is going like urge, guilt, or mistake, guilt, mistake, guilt, mistake, guilt. Break this chain at either of the side, either of the portion. Either you break this chain in the mistake part, or you may you break the chain at the guilt part, because that guilt is nothing but preparation for committing another mistake. Okay, so break it either ways. Don't feel guilt. What I am trying to say is that don't feel guilt. Okay, when you commit mistake, because that guilt is nothing but preparation for another mistake. That guilt is giving you momentum to go towards another mistake. Mind is preparing you that okay, you are not that bad, you are feeling guilty. Okay, so realize it that what type of game mind is playing with you. And if you like break this either at mistake or at guilt, it will work. Otherwise this chain will continue: mistake, guilt, mistake, guilt, mistake, guilt, mistake, guilt. Okay, but the things you have told, as per my understanding, they are not mistakes, and you should not be feeling guilty. Food we all need. Sex is the one of the need of human body. Comfort is obviously, life should be convenient. Life should be comfortable. Why we need an uncomfortable life? So discomfort I will never ask for. Uncomfortable life I will never ask for. Comfort should be there. Sleep should be there. Okay, so these things should be there. Excess of these things is wrong, but excess of anything is wrong. Okay, then excess of anything is wrong. Why we focus on these things only? Even excess of your discomfort is wrong. Excess hungriness is also wrong. Excess food is wrong. Excess remaining hungry over a long period of time is also wrong. Okay, so these things, for me, they are not points on which anyone should feel guilt about. Okay, last question. Do you get irritated? Do you get irritated by repetitive questions? If no, then how do you avoid getting irritated? First of all, it is my job to respond to the questions. There is nothing it is why I am here in this profession. Okay, first thing is that. Second thing, questions may be repetitive, but questioners are not. Okay, different people can ask similar questions. Okay, the question you have asked about breaking ego and all those things, or the death kind of thing, same thing could have been asked by anyone else. So why should I feel irritated towards anyone, okay, who is asking similar questions? uh, in case someone who is repeating questions also, someone who is asking the same question again, even then I should not be feeling frustrated, because even there is a hope of improvement. Understand what I am trying to say? Suppose someone asked me one question today, and he asked the same question, exact same question, after let's say 2 3 months. So one thing is sure, that question may look like the same, but that person is not the same. 2 3 months ago he was completely different person. In 2 3 months he must have gained life experiences. So we cannot say that this is the same person. Okay, and I will also expect that he has worked over that question and my response in last 2 3 months, and now he's ready for next level of answer. So even if the question is same, answer can be different. If you ask the same questions again, the same person asking the same question again after 6 months, my responses may be different, because you will be different by that time. Okay, I will be different by that time. 6 months I will be a different person. I may learn something new, and my response will be something very new. So this is where I feel that this and there is nothing like repetitive questions, uh, because the people are continuously changing, either by the identity itself. But if identity is also same, at least we all are evolving through time. So we all are changing, and we all are learning from our own experiences. So even if there is a 1 hour difference, 1 minute difference, the same person is different person. Okay, and my response can be different. Right, so these are main questions for today. Uh, I hope I was able to answer the questions, and enjoy your New Year time with your family, friends, and have a great time ahead. Okay, take care, all the best. Have a good, happy New Year time, and let's meet in 2022.